Jerry.
It's not my fault.
I'm here for the meeting.
I told Chuck we just had a little meeting we needed to drop in on, and he's looking at me like, huh? Anyway, I'll kick things off with a little bit of a formal presentation. So we have a lovely certificate here for you.
Thank you.
To commemorate your 35 years of service at CBA. I think it's absolutely fantastic achievement. Chuck, I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes in CBA over that time. But the short time that we've worked together, I know your leadership, your management skills, your personality, your integrity just shines through. And I know the passion that you have for CBA. So I want to congratulate you on behalf of the team and say well done.
Were you surprised, Chuck? Did you know?
Very surprised.
Yes.
My coaching feedback tells me to sharpen, say less, and this time I actually really am taking for words. 35 years is a fair whack of time, and it wasn't my intent on the 10th of January 1977 to go 35 years, especially when the majority of the people I'm speaking here weren't even a glint in their eyes at that particular stage. But it has been a great life at the CBA. People often do ask the question, so how can you stay with an employer for so long? And a few of you might have heard me say this, it hasn't really felt like that I've actually worked for one employer for 35 years. I've had the opportunity to work for a lot of employers over that 35 years, managers of various types and various types of capabilities and all that sort of things. Probably my last 10 years are probably some of my most memorable. There's probably a couple of darker years in there, and a few people might remember those. John Martin was as well. But in the main, they've been extremely pleasurable, particularly over the last 5 years. I've really enjoyed the leadership, firstly from Shelley and being picked up with Jerry as well. And that really what keeps me at work, what motivates me, it's the people here. Sure, the bank is a great institution, I recommend it to all and sundry, but it's the people that really, really make the difference. And when people get together and prepare to say, help me celebrate 35 years, it's really special. So, thank you, and thank you, Deb, for sneaking a little cake in this morning.
As Chuck mentioned, his 35th anniversary is not today. It was on the 10th of January, but he was in Fiji. So it actually gave our team a good opportunity to do some digging whilst he wasn't here to find out a couple of key facts. So to start with, recognise this place, Chuck?
I do.
Where's that?
That is in South Australia, a little country town called Kadina.
Yes, Chuck's first branch.
And it's only half the size of that when I started.
There you go. So Chuck started here 10th of January 1977. And no doubt a reference from your senior master helped you actually get the job.
Bloody hell.
So I have to ask, how good were you at school when they make a point in your reference of commenting on your sportsmanship?
Yeah, I was a bit more sporty back then.
So anyone who's worked in branch land would know that they actually do it quite tough. Well, back in the day, Kadina branch opened at 10 a.m. and closed at 3 p.m. So on a good day, Chuck would have his work done, the cash counted, and be at the beach by 3:45.
That would be true.
So we did ask Chuck's mother whether she could remember anything from when he started working at CBA. But all she could remember was that he got glandular fever not long after he started. And she did want us to let you know that she's still waiting for her iced coffee.
Is she?
Yes, she is. So some people may not know this about Chuck, but he was a smoker. I'm sure the stress of having to work from 10 to 3 encouraged the habit. Or was it your branch manager at the time, Alan Bigg, and the rumour that he made staff count paper clips to make sure that no one was using too many?
You used to burn rubbish, that was your job.
One of the best things about getting your first job is that you start to have money. So Chuck saved up his money, and this was the second car that he bought, the Celica.
With a porn moustache as well.
And it was definitely his favourite. Yeah. Now something amazing happened at Katina Branch, where he met his lovely wife Sharon when she started working there in 1979, and he became her teletrainer. So when we asked Chuck this morning in our decoy morning tea about his highlights over the 35 years, he did mention meeting his wife. So just to put this into perspective. So Chuck was convinced that the Celica was what made Sharon start dating him. And by the look of this next picture, it definitely wasn't his mistake.
Far out.
And
Hell, I was punching above my weight, wasn't I?
And Chuck and Sharon married in 1983. So Chuck moved on from Kadina Branch and moved on to relieving staff, and he had the staff at Clare Branch convinced he was called Chuck because he had, do you remember?
Could have been anything. I used to use the thing that I used to throw up.
Because you'd once chucked up on a customer.
That's true.
And apparently he never cleared that one up with you. So for those of you who don't know the truth, Chuck is called Chuck because he got the nickname during high school from an old TV show called McHale's Navy. So Tim Conway played Ensign Chuck Parker, who was a bit of a goody-goody and always tried to do the right thing. So the combination of Parker as a surname and being the head prefect at high school resulted in him being called Chuck, and the name has stuck ever since. So one of the interesting places that Chuck got to work when he was on relieving staff was at Woomera Branch. Is that right?
Woomera?
Woomera Branch. And it was established as a restricted access township in 1947, and the town played...
I didn't work there in 1947. Not celebrating 75 years.
And the town played a big role in the first moon landing mission. So when Chuck worked in the town, it was home for the US Air Force and the Australian Defence Force. So to work there, he needed special security clearance.
We used to have to take customers on a rostered basis because it wasn't fair to serve more than one customer in a row because you'd be greedy. You'd only have 6 customers in the day. And Westpac was next door to us, and we used to open accounts next door to each other. Like, I'd go open a Westpac account, and they'd open with a CBA so we could get our targets.
That's collaboration for it.
Totally ethical. Yeah.
Now Chuck's time at CBA was not always rosy. There was a time when Chuck had to get advice from the CBA legal team due to taking a restraining order out on a customer.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
So I guess that was the day you didn't get to the beach at 3:45.
No.
So somewhere in here, Chuck went on a holiday to China. Now this holiday has nothing to do with his time at CBA, but we couldn't resist. Showing you
Yes, that's smooth, isn't it?
Just leave that up. Fast forward to 1990, and Chuck was about to experience what it was like to be outnumbered by females as him and Sharon welcomed their first child, Megan. So at this time, Chuck was a loans officer, and there was at least one occasion where he fell asleep at work because of sleep deprivation of having a newborn baby in the house. But it didn't dampen his career. He went on to work at 96 King William Street branch as the branch manager. Now the clientele at this branch was rather unique, and he had to deal with a number of homeless individuals in various stages of undress on a daily basis. And over the next few years, Chuck welcomed another addition to his family with the birth of his second daughter, Lucy, and moved from working in the branches to making a career in learning. So in early 2004, while he was the State Manager of Learning South Australia and Western Australia, he was asked to do a relief of 6 weeks of a role in Sydney. This kept getting extended until he ended up being offered a redundancy in Adelaide or a new role in Sydney. So when I asked Sharon what made the move to Sydney, she said, "We decided on the move because we didn't want to die wondering what life would have been like if we'd moved to Sydney." So we welcomed Chuck and his family to Sydney, and he joined the New South Wales Learning Team, and we're very glad that he made the move. But we have to wonder whether the life in Sydney was what Sharon and Chuck thought it would be. When he goes home to Adelaide, does he tell everyone that he has become an actor?
No, it's just a phase. I've grown out of that.
Or does he mention that he's surrounded by ladies all day long?
Yes.
Or finally, does a rock star? So whatever you tell them, Chuck, congratulations on
Guys, hope you enjoy. As we reflect on our time with Chuck over the years, we are happy he still has functioning eyes and ears. Surrounded by women at work and at home, a tolerant man, commander of his throne. Two beautiful daughters with his wife's good looks, he is often found sleeping in training nooks. A golfing professional with a love of red wine, a qualified e-learning actor who always does shine. And if you ever have a computer issue during the day, Chucky's the man, clear your cache, he will say. The master of love advice always said in good fun, find a nice man, girls, who loves his mum. Known by his nickname from way down the track, he likes to dish them out too, like Debbie Jack. He got good advice that his colour was pink, so in he struts with his pig tie and a wink. Eat your frogs first is his favourite advice. Seriously, Chuck, you don't have to tell us twice. So here's to you, Chuck. Congratulations and cheers. We hope you've enjoyed the last 35 years.
Thank you.
Michael Chuck Parker, this is your CBA working life.
I know I've already said a few things, but wow. This is a very special day. To be with work colleagues, but critically, more importantly, friends. There's a lot of them that you meet over the 35 years, but they're all very special, but no more than you guys here. So thank you, and thank you for making Sydney our home, and particularly talent development my home. And stop hiding behind that. Thank you. Thank you very much.